recently became a um, university student living on my own abroad. And I know that this isn't really the most abnormal situation that you can get into, just because lots of people go away for school. What I've been told recently is that the way I'm going about it is very abnormal. Lots of first-year students stay in a dorm their first year away from home, and I chose not to do that just because of, well, of cost and lifestyle really doesn't tailor for me to dorms, so I figured that I would be on my own. And I have a one-bedroom studio apartment in the basement of a well-to-do family in Vancouver, and I'm commuting from here to university every day. And the thing about the apartment is that I'm not here nearly as much as I thought I would be. I go to school from, depending on when I have classes, from about either 8:30 to around 4 to around 9 to 10 or 11 at night. So essentially, I'm in my apartment for as long as it takes for me to get ready in the morning, and then to come here and pass out in the evenings, and then like I'm here on weekends, like it's a Saturday today, and like I'm not even gonna spend the larger majority of the day inside, and I have to go grocery shopping and do a few chores around, and then I have to come home and clean, because you never really realize how messy you are until you have your own place. Like, my room was always a mess. When I was at home, it was very rare that it wasn't, just because I wasn't really ever at home. When I was at home, it was clean, just because I was constantly in my room and I had to like see it all the time. But when I kind of started growing up and I started going out more and I got a full-time job, it's like it got messier and messier just because I didn't have time to clean. And like the house was always messy just because like I have a 6-year-old brother and a really messy dad. And my mom had the same schedule as me, like she worked full time and then she'd come home and she'd be exhausted and like she wouldn't want to clean. So our house was always a mess. But my little brother was like a tornado, so if we cleaned, he'd just end up messing everything up anyway, so we just give up. Because of that, I thought that my apartment would be clean just because I would never have time to mess it up. That I'm realizing more and more every day is not the case. Mess is very relative, and what is messy for me isn't messy for a lot of people. But I'm seeing more and more like it doesn't take a lot to make a mess. Like I'll come home and I'll empty out my books and stuff, and then I'll go to my room, which is like fairly clean just because there's nothing in it. It's like a bed and dressers and stuff. But I'll like leave my books on the table and charge my laptop in the corner and um like shed my clothes on the floor of my room or something and then go to bed. And you wake up in the morning and you don't really want to clean it up right away. So it kind of just accumulates. And I didn't really expect that to happen. Um, yeah, it's a lot messier than you think it is. The other thing is, like, I don't cook as much as, like, okay, so I don't really have an appetite, like, not recently anyways. I'm not sure if it's just stress or change or, like, I'm overloaded with other things or what it is, but, like, I haven't really been that hungry lately, and it started, like, a little bit before, maybe, like, a few weeks before I moved, and, it just, like, it hasn't permeated, like, I'll have days where I like eat a lot, but also have days where I eat almost nothing. Like there was a day 2 days ago where I literally ate like a grapefruit and a meat bun, and that was it for the day. That being said, I don't cook. Like this has been my parents came and helped me move in, and we all four of us, like my parents, me, and my little brother, were all staying in my one bedroom apartment, which was like just suffocating all the time. But like they were here and they were still taking care of me, so like this will be my third or fourth day on my own, and like today is a Saturday, and this is the first time I've cooked in my apartment. Like I haven't eaten out at all, but I have like I've been living off leftovers from when my parents were here, which I finished off today, and then like these like people siopao, which is like this Filipino. It's kind of like an equivalent to like Chinese meat buns. And I have a whole bunch of those, and I just like they're easy to bring to school, so I bring them to school. But like that's essentially what I've been living off of. I have to go get vegetables and stuff today to like cook because I have to go get meat and stuff too. But yeah, you don't cook and you don't clean nearly as much as you think you would. Like I'll survive. Like that's the big thing, I guess. But as a warning to anyone who is planning on going out on their own, um, I'm gonna issue this warning: is that you are never, ever as ready or as self-sufficient as you think you are. Just because you can do it doesn't mean it's easy to do it. And I think that's where I'm gonna end it on this note. So, Diary of a Starving College Student, I guess, is a synopsis of what this is. And I don't know if I'm gonna continue it or not. It's more to track my progress than it is for any of you. So I think that's where I'm gonna end it today. I'll see you all next time. If I see you next time. If not, good luck going on your own, and I know that that's anything to do.